Hi, everyone. Welcome to Real Talk. This is Joanne.
And Tom, hey everybody, good to see you
Hey,
again.
thanks for coming in today. So, we teased you a little bit with a little short about what we're going to be talking about today. So, today's topic, we're going to talk about terminology. I feel like, obviously, in our industry, in whatever industry that you're working with, there's certain verbiage and words that we use that other people are sitting there scratching their heads going, I
Yeah.
have no idea what you even just
What's
said.
interesting, when we get new real estate people get into business, it'll be in a conversation, you look at them like the deer in the headlights, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you don't know what that means to do a CMA for a FSBO, and they don't understand the
Right.
language. So is that what we're going to be talking about today?
We're going to talk about that today.
Wonderful.
Now, we could be here, we could spend weeks, Tom,
Right.
talking about different, abbreviations or things like that. But we're just going to hit on six today. Six
Okay.
that seem to come up a lot for our
All right.
buyers
Good.
that they want to know. So the first one we're going to talk about today is, what is an MLS? What does that mean?
I even find myself saying that a lot to somebody. Let me go check the MLS and thinking, do they even know what I just meant by that? So what does the MLS mean?
Multiple listing service.
Multiple listing service.
But what is that?
Right. Yeah, even that, I guess.
Right.
Expand that. Oh, I just want to let you know that's the multiple listing service. And you're still like, okay, what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? What
Yeah.
is the multiple listing service? What is it?
So it's what we use as realtors when say you're going to sell your home. How does it get on the internet? How does everybody view your home? So we type the information and we go through and we enter your photos, information and descriptions about your home, and we put it on the multiple listing service. Now that hits a lot of, I'm often asked, is this going to go to all the, the third party online sites? Yes, it hits all
What's
of those
interesting is most people don't realize that almost all the third party sites get that from our MLSs.
Yes.
Our local multiple listing service puts all the information that's shared with all those other sites that we could go on with a list of those sites. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the MLS, okay, is an important thing for people to understand.
Absolutely. And I wanted to share a little tip too, because you might be sitting here thinking, well, yes, I'm just going to go to the third party site and look for homes. But we get everything first.
Right.
So when we set you up on our portals, we're able to share that with you very quickly before it hits.
And a lot of the third-party sites kind of mix some other stuff in there that isn't even accurate, not even for sale.
Yeah.
Their job is to capture leads. The third-party sites, that's what their objective is, to capture you as a consumer as a lead. Our job is to provide information.
Yeah.
So the multiple listing service is the best place to go to get real fast information as soon as it's available. So that's a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
All right.
you. Our next one that we're going to talk about, sometimes our shorthand for it is EMD or EM. What is that? Earnest money deposit or just earnest money? So I'm often asked sometimes, what is the difference, earnest money versus a down payment?
Okay.
Is that the same thing? It is not, but I feel that's such a good question. But what is earnest money?
Yeah, so
Tom?
earnest money is a deposit you make. You make an offer on a property, and it's accepted. You provide earnest money, saying you're earnest in your offer, and that's money that's going to be deposited. It's usually held in an escrow account, which is an account that companies have that is not part of their operating account. It's held in an escrow account. And that's money that's held to show that you're earnest in your effort to buy this home, and it's given back to you at the closing, the earnest money. So it's really like your cash, and it's given back to you at the closing as a credit.
Yeah, it's a credit.
Where a down payment is more, how much are you putting down for the lender, the mortgage company, in order to provide you with a mortgage? Completely different.
Right.
And earnest monies are different too. I used to be in a market that was 100% financing. There were people buying homes with no money and no earnest money, and it was okay. And most people think, well, you have to have earnest money, don't you? You don't. Now, as a homeowner, I sure would like to know that my buyer's putting down substantial money, that they're earnest in their effort, and they have something to lose if they don't follow through on their transaction. That's what it's there for. So that's
Right.
earnest money.
Yeah, to show you got some skin in the game. It's
Right.
good faith to
Right.
show
Absolutely.
that seller.
Yeah.
So our
Okay.
next one we're going to look at is when we say to you as a realtor, schedule your inspection. Home inspection, that is.
Yeah.
So that's part of the process as well. After you submit your earnest money, you will schedule your home inspection. So what does that mean?
And that's usually the first thing that happens,
Yes.
right? There's a whole, and what's nice, as you're going through this process, I really want to point out, you need to have a professional realtor that's walking you through all these steps, okay? Now, if you're in the process of buying a home, go interview realtors. We do that as a free service, and find somebody. You hire a realtor to walk you through all these steps, because these steps are important, okay?
Absolutely.
And understanding these things.
Because just our video it's just a little supplement. You
Right.
need to.
So a home
go
inspection
through.
is you hire an independent contractor to come through, walk through the home, and make sure everything is in good shape, right? There's no hidden defects or anything like that on the property. And we have another podcast we're going to be doing about that whole process and how to negotiate through that. So that's important. So when somebody says, well, I got to do a home inspection, it's different than an appraiser. You know, the appraiser goes out and they determine value for the bank. The home inspection, you hire an independent contractor to come out, make sure everything's fine with the home. Because most people, we walk in a home and we fall in love with it, and it's an emotional thing, right?
Absolutely.
We all do. We buy on emotions. The home inspector's job is to take the emotions out of it and slow down and walk you through that process. That's a home inspection.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll get in detail on that in the next podcast, I believe.
Yes, because it's definitely
Yep.
it's an interesting topic there, and there's a lot there to discuss.
Yep.
Our next word that we're going to throw at you is contingency. I feel as realtors, and I catch myself too, we're always saying, well, you're a contingent buyer. What does that mean to someone?
And we could probably do an hour-long podcast on the different contingencies,
Yes.
quite honest. You know, most are contingent on financing.
Yes.
Almost every contract we have, if there's financing, it's contingent upon you being able to get financing. And actually that EMD that you put down in the beginning, which is your earnest money, you get back if you don't get financing. All right, so it's contingent upon you getting financing. That's one way. Might be contingent upon you selling a home
Yes.
in order to buy the next home. Might be contingent upon you closing on a home. It might be contingent on you getting a HELOC. Oh, there's a word.
There's a new
What's that
word.
mean? Home equity line of credit. You know, so maybe you're getting a home equity line of credit to buy. There's just a lot of terminology, and what's so important, you don't need to understand that, but you need to hire a realtor that understands it and knows how to explain those things to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like Tom said, this is a process. This isn't something, oh, okay, you mentioned it once, I got it.
Right.
You know, there's a lot to it,
Right.
you know, and it helps to understand
Right.
that. And I feel as we sit with our clients and have that buyer's consultation, we talk them through. I love seeing our buyers understand. Oh yeah, hey Joanne, the next step is the appraisal, right? Or you know, it's great.
And I love you brought up the buyer consultation. Again, hire a realtor that's going to walk you through the process. We would love to be that person for you here at Weichert Realtors, Ileana. We offer free buyer consultations
Yes.
and walk you through all these steps. But whether it's us or who you use, hire a realtor. Interview them before you go out and start buying homes. We have a whole podcast on how to do that
Absolutely,
process.
yes.
Yeah.
So check our.
So there's a lot of different contingencies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Our next thing we're going to talk about, this is a very popular word too, CMA. We'll share with our clients, we're going to send you a CMA, comps. What are those? So comps are comparables that we use when you're going to sell your home, that we use to compare your home with.
Or even if you're going to buy a home and you say, is it worth what they're asking, we run comps for you, comparable sales, to help you establish your offer price.
Right. And a CMA is actually more of the professional version. We will put something together. It's a document called a comparative market analysis. So it's kind of similar to an appraisal report,
Right.
if people are familiar with that. But it's what us as realtors use. Of course, appraisers go into a little
Correct.
bit more with the report. But this document does compare. What else is active in the market? What else is under contract? And what has recently sold?
Right.
And that, of course, is the most important value. What something
So
sold
first of
at.
all, I want to apologize on behalf of most realtors, because unfortunately we're in this so long, we use that type of language in public without explaining it to people. And when we go through this process, we explain each one of these words for you and these initials and abbreviations, because it is a big deal. You don't need to understand all of them, but you need to understand that the realtor you hire has to know these things inside out.
Absolutely,
And we do that here. You know, and it's funny, you say comparative market analysis. I used to call it competitive market analysis.
Or I've seen comparable market
And
analysis
so
too.
even us, we don't know for sure what it means. But anyway,
It
you know,
switches.
but okay, we got any other words?
We have one
Okay.
final word for you. FSBO. What's a FSBO?
You mean like when I said, hey, I'm going to prepare a CMA for a
Yes.
FSBO based on comps I found? And you're looking at me like, what the heck did he just say? Okay. We've done that in front of new realtors. So realtors understand what a FSBO is. It's a for sale by owner. We call them FSBOs. Okay, but if you're selling a home on your own, you didn't know you were a FSBO. Okay, but that's the terminology we use. So that's what a for sale by owner is, a FSBO in our industry. So if you hear me saying I'm going to do a CMA for a FSBO based on comps I found, now you understand where I'm coming from,
Yeah,
or what
see?
that means.
See, it all comes together.
Right.
So thank you for watching
Thanks,
and
guys.
listening to our 6 tips. Maybe in the future, let us know if you'd like to have more information about some terminology. We'd love to hear from you. Go to askweichert@gmail.com for any questions you have.
Good seeing y'all. Take care
Bye-bye.
now.